Howdy, Possum Patty here, and it is Slow Stitch Sunday, so come on along. This is my little Vera Bradley pocketbook journal that I decided to turn into a slow stitch journal. And this is my first page, a flower and a butterfly and lots of stitching. And that's the back. And this will be the back of the green page. And when I'm done, I'm thinking of gluing or stitching them together. And maybe I might put a piece of felt or something in there. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So today I've been thinking about this piece of material, and I have yards and yards and yards of this stuff. I bought it at a yard sale. Ha ha ha, chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Anyway, some of these things are way too big to put on here, like that bird and stuff, but I do love this, and I do love this, and look, here's a nice bug and a leaf that would certainly fit on a page. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is really nice too. Look at this. I wonder if I can get the bird's face and that purple thing and part of that blue thing all on one page. Oh, and look, and here's another bug, grasshopper. And oh, here's another bug. Oh, that one's pretty too. So I probably will be taking some leaves and maybe parts of birds and parts of leaves because everything is so big. And using a little of this in here, a little of this, a little of that. I saw somebody use this in their journal. I'm going to take that off right now. This is very heavy material. It's like upholstery or linen or for curtains or something. Yeah, it does look like linen, doesn't it? Yeah. And oh, I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I get distracted. Oh yeah, so this is heavy, and I did cover my cushions for the deck storage box with this, and that used just a tiny fraction of it up. I do have so much left. I like these purple things here too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut something out to just get started. So I have these three pieces from that material. I took a bug, I took one of these purple flowers or whatever it's supposed to be, and the little die strip here shows the colors. But I want to add a little something maybe different from, that's not from this material, this fabric. So this is my new sewing basket. Kind of big to fit under here, even zooming out. And what I did is I have all the little small scraps in these two little bags. And then I have the strips. And then I have the bigger scraps of material. And then these are like netting and different special materials. And then the trim and the ribbons that are left over from different projects. You know, this has got to go into my bee journal. You know what? I'm going to take that out right now and put that in the bee journal bag, because I might be looking for that later. And then I got some little pieces of batting, some extra baggies. I say baggies when I use them and I wash them. Reuse them again. I got some needles and some thread. I don't know why I have that thread there. Oh, I know, because I was sewing little pumpkins. Back in the fall. All right, so I'm going to go through here And let's see, what can I put on this page? Need to make some room. Make some room, make some room. Just add something for fun. I got little tiny scraps of stuff. This is kind of fun. That might add some interest. Maybe. Or does it look like the bug is pooping? No, we don't want to put a dot behind the bug. No, let's not do that. Okay. Do you know when caterpillars poop, it's called frass. Frass. Maybe something across the bottom, like a grounding strip of something. Ooh, this was just gifted to me. That's pretty. Ooh, it goes nice with the green too. We could save that for another page. Let's see. Sky. This is interesting. That looks fun. What else I got in here? We got a yellow one. Oh, this is left from the Easter journal. And oh, I got green. Oh, this is pretty. These are quilting strips I bought at another yard sale. Okay, I'm going to pick something and cut it and surprise you. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to go with this fabric because I think it's a little bit more modern looking. This design, more abstract, kind of goes with the look of the bug and the flower. And then I was thinking, well, I should add something that has a little bit different texture because these are like flat material. I put a button and beads on this side. So I have this. I think this was gifted to me too. So if I cut this off, oh, there's a vine with leaves on there too. I just noticed the middle was an actual vine with leaves. I always go for something that looks like nature. Okay, okay. I like that. Layered it up. And I could probably, I know these pages are tiny. What's the size of these pages? These pages are about, because some of them are cut a little crooked, but they're about, well, when they're cut straight, they're about 4 by 4. Some of them are a little crooked. Ooh, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I could put something in the middle of there. And a little touch of something up here. But I can get started. Oh, and I bought myself a new needle threader from Embroidery Thread. It's by DMC. Because I kept breaking my needle threaders. And this is, I got this at Joann Fabrics. I had a 50% off coupon. I Hadn't bought anything there in a while. It's kind of far away. We don't usually go that far when we're shopping. They charge you so much money for one little plastic thing. Okay. But I need it. I need it. Oh, Linda D sent a funny saying about buying craft supplies. Let me see, what was it? Okay, Linda says, I only buy craft supplies when I need it for a project, or because it's on sale, or I have a coupon that I need to use, or because it's pretty, or because I want it. And I really love that. So I had my coupon, so I bought myself a needle threader. So I'm picking out some beads here, and this is a very special bead. It came off a necklace from my grandmother, but it fell all apart, and I've been using the beads on special things. I'm not sure I like these flat ones on here. I may change that. I did have these little ones here that look more like the center of a flower. Yeah, I might use those instead. And I might use, here's my needle, don't lose my needle, these green ones in the background. And that over there, and I have to sew that on. And then do a bunch of stitching. But now, because the page is already in the book, I was thinking, and my neighbor's driving up and down the road in his backhoe. And today he is carrying a very large log from up the street back to his house. Okay, that's neighborhood gossip. Okay, now this little needle is to sew the tiny beads. I should stick it in here so I don't lose it. Oh, where was I? I could stitch this all up and then put it down on the page. What do you think? Should I do some sewing on this and then put it down, then do some sewing on that and put it down? All right, but one thing that has to go down is this. Okay, let's see how this threader works. Stick it in there, put the thread on, and pull it back through. And I did it without breaking it, but you know I will break it. I always put a knot towards the end. I'm going with purple because it makes no sense whatsoever. Purple on the bug, purple over there. Oh, that's kind of a different purple though. Oh, I bought 3 new colors when I bought my threader. I bought this really pretty turquoise and a lavender and an olive green. Because, you know, I love to collect colors. When I started with the color pencils, oh my gosh, I had to have like all the colors. All the colors. With paint, oh, I wanted all the colors. Maybe that goes back to the days of getting crayon boxes, right? And you have a 24 pack. but the friend across the street has a 64 pack. And so you're jealous of all the colors that your friend has that you don't have. I don't know which way to turn this. Whoop. Hit the camera. It's hard when you zoom in, then it's so easy to go out of frame. So then I tell people I'm not an artist, I'm an art supply collector. And then I started taking keyboard, and I bought a bunch of music books. So I told people I'm not a musician, I'm a music book collector. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do a running stitch back and forth across this. I just went back and forth with the purple floss, did some fun stitching. Now if this was like real embroidery, I guess you draw some lines and make them nice and straight. But for slow stitching, you just make them look fun. And I really want to add this to the page. I took a piece of this variegated. I got this the other day on clearance. And I'm thinking about what kind of stitch I want to do here. You know what, I need a pin. I think I need a pin. Probably a good thing to have a pin. Or else I'll probably go off the edge. Okay, I'm thinking of looping it up one way and then just straight stitching it down the other way. Maybe that'll work. After I stitched this other piece, I took a little break and went for a walk. And it's about 38 degrees outside, but it's sunny. There's a lot of ice around because we had a lot of rain, a little bit of snow. But the weatherman says this is the coldest day in the forecast for the next couple of weeks. You know, got to get the beach body back in shape. Got to start taking my little walks. When I go to the beach, I like to walk up and down the beach. But I'm always looking at nature. Some people do people watching. I do nature watching. I'll look at this seaweed that's washed up and the shells and the stones and the shorebirds. I think I'm getting a little too close to the edge here. Got to grab a couple more threads. That might pull off, but it shouldn't, because I'm kind of close to the edge. Okay, now I'm going to go down and come up over here. Oops, not there, not there, there. Am I in frame? Oh, I need to change the battery. I was watching somebody do a chain stitch. And I forgot how they did it. Stick it down. And they come up like that. I'm trying to learn the different stitches. Uh-oh. Here comes the cat. Well, it's getting all hung up, but let's see. Ooh, I did it. Now what did I do? Can I zoom in a little more? Okay, I gotta remember, try to stay in frame. So you make a loop. You come back here next to where you came out and you go back in, and if you're doing embroidery you'd have this mark off all very even and nice like. Did I do that right? Well, I'm having a hard time going through this heavy material here. Wow. I thought it was going to be harder than this. So basically stick it in next to where you came out. Am I in frame? Come down a little bit. Go down a little bit. Okay, this is sewn on one side, so I don't need that there. A chain stitch. You'll learn anything on YouTube. Okay, so come back here. And come out here. I don't know why I can't pull this needle. I don't know if it's this material or my hand cream. think I could put a bead in each one of these circles, like a flower. Okay, make a loop. Yeah, I'll do one more, then I'll go do this on my own. Oh, this is fun. I learned something new. Okay, you can kind of see how it goes from a lighter blue, different shades, to a darker blue, and then into a purple. Variegated. Okay, I have 2 elements on and 3 different kinds of stitches. And now what has to go on next is, I think the flower has to go on next. I think I'm going to cut a little bit closer to the stem. Well, that was a big mistake. I trimmed off some more material around the stem and it just started disintegrating. I guess that's just a type of loose woven material this is. So I just put some stitches up and down, and I guess even if the material falls away, there'll still be some stitches there for the stem of my flower. And I'm thinking, well, I want to put the bead there, but do I want to sew something on here first? And what haven't I done? I haven't done a satin stitch, I think they call it. And that's just when you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I might try that. And see how that goes. This could be called the Book of Learning Slow Stitching. Alright, gotta get a needle. Okay, I think the idea is just to go back and forth very closely. Watching out for this pin. I think I'm going to move that pin. As you know, I'm going to stick myself with that. Oh, this will take me a little while. Okay, I finished the satin stitch and I put grandma bead there. I know it doesn't show up, but it's texture. And then I did some seed stitching on the next color. And now I've got the third purple there, and I'm wondering what I should put. And maybe, see, I did satin seed. And I'm thinking about just making some lines out with little knots at the end, maybe. And I gotta find a color. I did that color. This is the color I used down here. Could use a dark color for contrast. Okay, this is what I had in mind, just to take a stitch to the edge and then come back up. Wrap the thread around twice and go back down close by, but not in the same hole, like that. Just to give it some different look, something fun. So I'll go up and I'll go around that side. I'm just going to make it like one stitch. One stitch and a knot. And I'm going around twice and back in. Okay, I'm going to finish that off. Love how it came out, like stamens on the flower there, with the seed stitching and the satin and the bead. I've got the ground and the stem and the side trim almost done. I think I might put something in those black circles. And of course then I have to do my fly, and I cut the flowers apart. I might spread them out a little bit instead of having them all attached together. So this is probably going to be a 2 or 3 part series, because I also want to sew some of those green beads on the background here, and put beads in here, and put some stitching on the fly and something in the center of the flowers. So a lot more fun to go on this page of my Just Because book. So I'd want to wish everybody happy slow stitching, and thanks for coming along today. Bye bye.